Hey, we're supposed to be back today, but Andrew's not here. A little weird, if you ask me. He said he was supposed to be here. I guess he's not in his chair.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Hang on a second. All things professional wrestling. All things professional wrestling. All things professional wrestling.
I'm here. Dude,
Do you understand?
Do you understand what my last 5 weeks were like in that thing?
It must have been crazy.
Dude, I was living in this thing. I got trapped. A genie showed up and gave me a wish, but it wasn't the type of genie I like.
Oh yeah, it wasn't the Barbara Eden type.
No, it was a Freaky Friday situation where he became me and I got trapped in this stupid little thing.
Oh,
not very comfortable, dude.
Who was I hanging out with the last 6 weeks?
Not me.
Uh-oh. That explains a whole lot.
Welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarian.
All things professional wrestling.
Of course, I'm joined by the genie lamp man himself.
The rubber of the lamp.
The rubber of the lamp.
What would you do if you had 3 wishes?
Dude, I got to give you 3 wishes now.
Okay. Number 1.
But it's like a monkey's paw situation, all right?
In what regard? I only can wish for a monkey paw.
No, you don't. There's a consequence.
Okay.
There's a consequence to whatever you wish. So give me 1 wish. But you gotta remember there's gonna be a consequence.
I wish MG suddenly appeared in the studio right now.
I can't do that. The feds will show up, dude.
That's the consequence?
That's the consequence.
He's just on the run. You hear the choppers coming.
Where were you on that day? That's what happens. They start asking you that question. Where were you on that day?
Where were you on that day? Where were you on that day?
Guys,
where were you on the day Hogan got booed?
Where were you on? I don't know if you know, but Rich is a professional lip reader. And he sent me the lip reading of that Trump-Obama interaction. What did he say to him?
He goes, The Rock, do you believe my buddy Terry got booed the other night? Nope. Yep, I do.
Oh, man, we have not done a show in 5 weeks. November 15th was the last show we did. This was the longest break we ever took. I am pumped to be back.
Same here.
I'm thrilled to be back. There's so much happening in the new year. A lot of wrestling to talk about. Obviously, the Tokyo Dome shows.
Boy, howdy.
Those were a lot of fun. AEW on Max finally happened. WWE on Netflix we got to talk about that show. A lot of criticism about that show, about the lack of wrestling.
Who cares?
But let me remind you guys, it's not about wrestling for them anymore.
Yeah.
All right? They're doing something totally different here.
You know what I thought was really bizarre was the outcry of the fans online who was like, I don't need to see your celebrities. And it's like, listen, I said this the other day on Beyond the Bell. When you're watching a basketball game in a big venue, right? Yeah. Let's say you're at the Garden or you're at the Staples Center or whatever, right? And all of a sudden the camera cuts to like, and joining us tonight, Spike Lee's here. And then, oh shit, sitting next to him, Chris Rock. So it's like, I feel like they tried to capture that sports feel.
Yeah, because they're a sports brand. They're run by, it's not a wrestling promoter running this company. We'll talk about this, but there's so much to talk about. But guys, I'm thrilled to be back.
Yes.
Do us a favor this year. Hit the subscribe button wherever we are, however you're consuming the show, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Where else are we on?
Craigslist.
Backpage.
Craigslist just joiking it.
We're in the intimate
Your
section.
X.
We're on X. We're streaming live on X now.
Yeah. Oh, very cool.
We're going to be putting all our shows on X moving forward. You want a little scoop ski?
We're on Vine now.
X is getting in the video.
Really?
And
I don't think that's a scoop.
well, I have a buddy there, and he told me some of the stuff that they're planning on doing. I know a lot of criticism over X, but I think this is great for content. I think we'll be in.
And they just announced their TV app, so you could download it and put us on TV right now.
Is the TV app public right now?
Cool.
Yeah, it got released a few weeks ago.
Because I tried it a few weeks ago and it was terrible.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's released. You didn't ask the quality.
Oh, okay. That's what I was asking.
Can we take a quick super chat right off the top?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, this is from Ten Ruza. Lads, what rock/pop song you use for Dynamite theme?
That I would?
TNT.
Yeah.
It's Raining Men.
Ooh.
And it's just all the high flyers.
Listen, I love it. I don't.
All right, thank
I
you.
don't have a better answer than
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. I'm sharp today, dude.
Great.
Good.
Jess pumped me up with oil of oregano.
Oh yeah.
She gave me some elixir. Do you know the rule?
I think she was trying to base you.
We don't have any medication in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not allowed.
Except for horse tranquilizer.
Except for the horse. Except for that. Yeah. Jess goes and sees a witch and brings home all these elixirs, like oil of oregano.
Very nice. Yeah.
Okay,
Good stuff.
and little jars with like oils for anxiety,
Little tinctures.
and inflammation, and all this stuff. I'm like, can I just take an Advil? She goes, no, there's no Advil.
There's no Advil.
No.
Yeah.
We have it for the kids. We have like children's Tylenol and stuff, but I'm not allowed to take anything other than the elixirs from this witch.
Natural elixirs.
Yeah. Terrible. I can't take anything. So I took oil of oregano today. I'm feeling it.
I'm glad. I'm happy for it. That's also funny, especially since you're loaded with so many chemicals.
I mean, yeah, there's the human growth hormone and the TRT. Yeah, I think it is a little odd.
It balances out, though.
Yeah,
It balances out. Sprinkle that oregano behind your neck.
yeah. Alrighty, we're starting in the chat room. Matthew Garrett, bunch of liberal marks.
Yeah.
Dude, I voted for Nixon 4 fucking times. All right, take your nonsense out of here, dummy.
Yeah, dude, you did vote for Nixon.
Yeah.
Quite a few times.
I keep writing Nixon every fucking year. It keeps happening.
You were a Reagan boy.
I grew up in a house with a Reagan framed photo of Reagan and a framed photo of the Shah of Iran.
I think my grandma had a JFK.
We had a JFK.
Yeah.
We had a JFK. My grandfather worked for JFK. He was his umbrella holder. Let's go into this.
Let's do it.
Let's go. You want to start it?
Yeah, so we're feeling good today. First of all, right off the bat, thoughts and prayers goes out to everybody in LA, everybody in California, all our friends out there. We know you've all been posting. We feel you. Let us know if you need us. If you need a place to crash, you're more than welcome to come to the East Coast and stay at one of our places.
Did you see the video I sent you of Spencer?
Yes, that's so wild, dude. It's very upsetting. No upcoming shows there soon. It doesn't affect AEW Revolution. But yeah, our thoughts go out to everybody in California right now. I know one of my buddies got displaced. He got evacuated. So I'm kind of like waiting for him to tell me like what his deal is.
Where was he?
He was close to Pasadena.
Okay.
Yeah. So he just had to leave his apartment with his wife and dog, I believe.
Yeah. Terrible.
Mm-hmm. We also have a little upkeep here. 2 mini docs dropped on our YouTube channel while we were gone. The Rise and Fall of the WWE Network and the History of Music and Wrestling, brought to you by one of our producers, Jonathan. Pretty fantastic stuff. Go check it out. Those are on our YouTube page.
Yeah, great stuff. He worked really hard. Yeah. Dude, do you know what is unbelievable to find out? You cannot post anything under fair use. Even if it's fair use, they still hit you. Jonathan, thank God he worked in media and he worked for a news organization, so he understands this stuff. He was able to appeal everything perfectly, and he still struggles where you have to appeal everything that you are using that is like even 5 seconds. It's insane. Yeah. It really is nutty. There needs to be a better option.
Absolutely.
Like you're not airing it to deceive people. You're airing it part of a documentary.
Right, exactly.
And it's like a second of it.
But it's also like, the one bad apple ruins the bunch, So like everybody who's trying to get one over on people, it leaves people like Jonathan out in the lurch, because he's trying to do something cool for everybody.
Yeah, it's terrible, actually. Yeah, he did great stuff. Go check it out over there. All right, you want to go into the news here?
Let's do it.
All right, WWE Netflix announced a strong viewership for Monday Night Raw. So the day prior to this coming out, MJ, do you have the company that put this out? I had never heard of them.
I didn't either. It was a weird company. Let me see if I can find it.
I guess they do analytics.
Mm-hmm.
And they put out do you have it?
I don't think it was American. That was for sure.
I don't think it was American. But they put out a bizarre thing here where they said around 640 households watched Monday Night Raw on Netflix. First of all, that is terrible. It is a terrible number.
Okay.
And I immediately reached out to people at WWE. I'm like, what do you think? He's like, immediately everybody's like, yo, that is bullshit. That number is insane. I'm sure Netflix is going to put something out, which they did.
Yeah.
And that number was far greater than 640,000 households. In a press release on Thursday, WWE and Netflix stated that Monday Night Raw, the episode averaged 2.6 million households in the United States in live and same-day viewership. They had a 4.9 million live plus one globally. That is tremendous.
Yeah.
5 million people watch Monday Night Raw. Now we have a global number. I don't know. If you looked at that global number previously, I don't know what it would have been. You know, depending on how you calculate every region and how people are consuming the content.
Yeah.
The biggest story here is the +3. Live plus one will no longer matter here.
Okay.
Because now we're in streaming.
Yeah.
This is where it's going to get interesting because I'm curious about the +3 number for everybody.
Okay.
I don't care about the live number anymore.
Right.
Nobody's consuming live anymore.
Everybody's on their phone.
Everybody's on their phone. They're behind 2 days. You know, like normally how I consume, obviously live +1. So it's same day viewership. But how about if it's the following day?
Right.
Which how I consume. Is it a 24? I think it's 24-hour wheel.
Okay.
That's how it works. But listen, man, sometimes I watch AEW on a Friday if I can't watch it. Or I watch, Collision on a Monday or a Sunday. People consume content very differently now.
Yeah, it's rarely appointment television anymore.
2.6 million viewers for the household for U.S. domestically is tremendous, considering, for the longest time, and I was one of those people that would say, and MG knows this, I covered technology for a good decade of my life, streaming was not there yet.
Yeah.
Streaming was not there yet. Whatever this is has escalated the bounce from traditional media into something else.
Okay.
We are at a very different place now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I just imagine having like a nice hour and a half commute to work on a train.
On a train, you just put it on.
And you're just like, I'm just going to watch Raw.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Appointment television is done. I feel like the last bastion of real appointment television is probably HBO. You watch Game of Thrones every Sunday.
Game of Thrones I watch every Sunday.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? Like, I'm watching the new Dexter, right?
Okay.
And listen, guys, if this is the first time tuning into this, I welcome you. I'm so freaking glad you found us. You're consuming our content. This show is a little wrestling adjacent.
Sure.
We talk about everything. So we're going to get to wrestling. We're going to bounce back and forth here. Dexter, I'm not watching when it's dropping live.
Right.
Game of Thrones, you're right. Game of Thrones was the last appointment television. Do you have another show you like that about?
I would say like the HBO stuff when I really like something, I would make it a point to watch it.
I'm trying to think when the last time. What?
On HBO Max, Hard Knocks every year, football, that comes out on a schedule every
You know what?
Okay.
That's great. And for you, that's appointment television.
Yeah.
Everything else we consume, like Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
You binge.
Exactly. You find a day and you binge it.
By the way, I have to tell you, talking to people in those little worlds, binging was the biggest mistake.
Oh, how come?
Because they've realized that the marketability of a product is the longevity of the product, right? So if you have 6 to 12 weeks, or let's say you take a break for 2 weeks or 3 weeks and then you come back, that expands the conversation around the show. So if your show comes out in September, by December, you're old news.
Right.
It's over. So they're realizing that, like, well, maybe this is not the way to do it.
I think mentally also it screws with people because then you have that FOMO of like, that person who's just like, I watched the entire thing yesterday. And
in one day, you got to watch it. Yeah.
Amazon does a good job of petering out their show.
I think petering it out is fine. I think the
HBO,
first 2 episodes should drop immediately.
Yeah.
And then you go into whatever you're doing. Or the first 3, and then you go into whatever you're doing.
And also,
I got an answer for you.
Yeah, give me.
What was the question?
Samba TV is who announced.
Samba TV.
I also, It might be just HBO that does the appointment, because I'm thinking back in Penguin. This fall was appointment television for me. That was another.
No, Showtime's doing it with doing it with Dexter on Paramount.
Yeah, but it's Showtime.
Nobody cares about Showtime.
That's what I feel like. It has that like. But it's Showtime.
Anybody have Cinemax still?
Yes.
What's on it?
B stuff. It's just like Max.
It's just like Max.
It's like whatever Max. Like you get like a bunch of channels. And also, like, the cool thing about, I'm not saying it's appointment, but like, would you consider Dynamite on Max more appointment television than Dynamite on television?
Dynamite on Max, is it more appointment television than on television?
Yeah.
No, same for me.
Okay.
Same for me. But wrestling is appointment television because it's a sport.
Yeah.
But it's shifting, dude. It's shifting.
Yeah.
I think this is great numbers for Netflix and WWE. This is the beginning of something that they're attempting here. Big risk from both companies. I thought the show looked great. We'll talk about that, obviously, when we run down to the show breakdown part. But very interesting. I don't know what that global number means, if that's a positive or how much of a positive. But listen, man, it being on one platform is great. And intern Deacon just derailed me here with his message to us.
I missed it.
I think you should look at your phone. We cannot repeat what he wrote.
Oh boy.
I want you to look at it.
Oh,
okay.
Jesus.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. He's enjoying his new job.
Fantastic.
Yeah. He's enjoying his new job.
Great.
All right. Former WWE boss Vince McMahon resolves his SEC charges over undisclosed settlements. This is in regards to charges filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission relating to his failure to disclose to the Pro Wrestling Company's board the settlement agreements with two women on behalf of himself and WWE.
Yeah.
So this is his hush money, his NDAs, and they've settled it. All right. I'm very curious how that's going, because
This guy's trying to make a comeback.
I made a prediction that by the end of this year, there will be a Vince McMahon reference on TV, on WWE TV.
If he showed up, would he get booed?
I would have. Well, no, I don't think so.
Interesting.
I don't think he will.
I think depending on the market.
I don't think he will.
LA crowd?
I don't think they will.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Very fascinating.
Not that I'm advocating for booing or anything. It's just how I feel. Listen, man, that guy, that news came out.
Yeah.
Okay? The Janelle Grant stuff came out, and what did he do? He marched down to that ring, and everybody in that crowd knew the story. It was a humongous story, and they cheered for him.
Yeah, it's wild.
And then Stephanie came out and did the "We love you, Vince, rah rah."
Yeah, I remember that. I wouldn't be surprised if that crowd thought, like, I don't know, man. Like that was just wild. I feel like that was a surreal. What was that? 2020? Was that last year or 2 years ago?
I think that was 2023. Yeah.
This is like, what an oddball surreal moment.
Or 2022?
Quick,
2022, 2023? Yes.
Yes,
Real quick, guys. Vince actually 3 minutes ago just put a statement out on X. I put it in our group chat.
Oh, you want to read it?
Sure. He put, the case is closed. Today ends nearly 3 years of investigation by different governmental agencies. There has been a great deal of speculation about what exactly the government was investigating and what the outcome would be. As today's resolution shows, much of the speculation was misguided and misleading. In the end, there was never anything more to this than minor accounting errors with regards to some personal payments that I made several years ago while I was the CEO of WWE. I'm thrilled that I can now put this all behind me.
The phrase minor accounting errors doesn't seem kosher at all.
Minor accounting errors.
17 million or whatever it was.
Wasn't that minor accounting error that happened in a company that's 40 plus years old?
Oopsie.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Wild. All right, moving on.
This has nothing to do with the... Real quick, this has nothing to do with the Janelle Grant.
No, this has not. This was the government's investigation into.
Right.
That's his SEC investigation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Correct.
Malachi Black
is
believed to be done with AEW. Fightful reported on Wednesday night that those that they spoke with in AEW believe that he is either done or will be finishing up. The news comes after Will Ospreay's promo following his win over Buddy Matthews. Buddy. He called him Buddy Murphy. Then he called him Buddy Matthews.
Yeah.
That opened Wednesday's Dynamite. That he said that Matthews and Brody King didn't need a leader.
Yeah.
Listen, the Malachi stuff from the time he showed up in that company has been very odd.
It's I would say with moments of brilliance, because I really like
nothing
him.
on TV. I'm saying the stop and go, and he
The stop and
disappeared
go,
for
yeah.
a little bit, and he was doing no single matches. Everything was a tag match. I don't understand that. Obviously there's stuff backstage and there's rumors that I'm not going to go into, but
What a talented guy.
what a freaking talented guy, great act. And listen, he's going to go back to WWE. There's no doubting that.
I think they're going to give him like the full package when he comes back. You know,
His wife's there. His wife is there.
It does seem like in the last couple of years, correct me if I'm wrong, WWE is greener pastures for a lot of these guys.
Or so they think.
Right.
You know? And perception is the most important thing.
Yeah.
If you perceive yourself in a better position, then you're in a better position. You know, I remember when he went there. You and I sat down. We were doing the show, and we're like, could he be world champion? 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
At that time.
Yeah. When he went to AEW.
When he went to AEW.
Yeah.
He could be a world champion there. Might be a cool run.
I think so too.
Never happened.
I find that a little
Penta.
odd, yeah.
You said Penta.
Penta,
Could Penta be a world champion there?
Penta, I thought was prime that first year. Forget it.
That first year with that hype that he came in, you could have done something with him. Couldn't happen. With contracts and the way that things are going, we're going to play flip flop constantly now. With talent.
100%.
Talent's going to go from one side to the other. We got Ricochet for Malachi. We got this guy for that guy. It's going to happen. I hope he does something great.
I hope so too.
Tremendous talent.
I think with that Triple H guidance and that like they put a little more oomph into it, because I remember like he had an interview where he said that he had all his stuff planned out and nobody would get back to him. Nobody would give him the time of day, you know. So he had to when he was doing the cult leader thing with the glasses and those different colored promos. Very fascinating guy. I feel like now in this current landscape of WWE, he will flourish more than he did before.
I hope so. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to find what year did he show up? When was his debut?
On AEW for 2021?
Let's see. Debut. How did he debut? I don't remember how he debuted.
Wasn't he just in the middle of the ring?
I'm
Like
that's an easy guess.
July 2021.
July 2021. Okay.
Yeah, July 7th.
Okay. Yeah, he's finished up there. All right. I think he'll have a good run in WWE.
I think so. I think so too. Would you throw him in NXT? For a little bit?
No.
Straight up back at the Rumble.
Back at the. I don't know if the contract will allow it, but back on TV.
Yeah.
He could have a program with Punk. He could have a program with Penta. He could do so much there.
I think so. Yeah.
So much. The Von Erichs have announced they have signed with AEW. I like those kids.
Great.
Marshall and Ross. One wears shoes. One wears a cowboy hat.
Just like us.
Just like us. It's fantastic. Good for them. NXT draws nearly 1 million viewers with New Year's Evil. NXT averaged 957,000 viewers, up 52.9% from last week. And that has everything to do with Dwayne appearing and dropping an F-bomb on broadcast television.
I've been watching NXT a lot more lately.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed this episode quite a lot. I like the little moment between him, The Rock, his daughter, and Ethan Page.
That was nice.
Also didn't bury Ethan Page with silliness.
Yeah.
But he did slap him on the butt.
He did.
He did slap him on the butt. That promo he cut at the end was fantastic. That main event was fantastic. It was the two
great
opening
show.
matches were bangers.
Great show.
Everything was great.
That was a fantastic show. They're re-airing it on Saturday night at 8.
Oh, cool.
Against Collision.
They've been doing that. They've been doing that a lot.
Occasionally, not every week. It doesn't air every week, but they've been airing it.
And I think
that's great.
I have it on the rundown when we get to NXT.
Listen, I think they should run that show Saturday afternoons.
Yes.
That's what they should do with that show. You want to cater to a younger crowd. It is a younger show.
Yep.
It's a more hip show.
The issue is you can't on during football season.
Why?
CW
What is-
has the ACC rights for college football.
Is that what they're doing? Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, so-
CW does. Yeah.
Okay.
See, these guys know nothing about football.
Yeah, we know nothing about football.
Nothing.
Vinny Testaverde, the quarterback for the New York Jets.
Joe Montana, great.
Joe Montana, fantastic. He's still going.
Whenever somebody talks about football to me, I go, Joe Montana, great.
Black Bart passes away after battling cancer. He was mentioned by JBL. He also JBL put out a tweet about him. He also was mentored. He was the mentor of JBL in the early run. He mostly worked in Florida and the Mid-Atlantic territories before becoming an enhancement talent in the WWE. Passed away. Fought cancer.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. NXT New Year's Evil. You want to summarize this?
NXT New Year's Evil, fun show. Julie defeated Roxanne Perez to win the title. Awesome win. Here's another one. Stephanie Vaquera defeated Kelani Jordan, Cora Jade, and Lola Vice in a fatal four-way to become the number one contender for the NXT Women's North American Championship. Fantastic. A lot of folks were hoping that Stephanie Vaquera would sign with AEW, but I think she made the right choice.
She's great.
Yeah.
I listen. She would have been great in AEW, and she would have had great matches. But they're giving something here.
If you're, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this, I feel like if you are a female talent signed to NXT, you are destined for stardom on the main roster.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 100%.
Think about that. Think about all the ladies who've come from NXT over the last few years. Rhea Ripley is the biggest thing on that roster. Liv Morgan.
Huge, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I feel like they nailed whatever machine they have in place for them. They nailed it.
Isn't that amazing though? With like Rhea Ripley, great example.
Yeah.
If you took, and she was great on the Indies. Like it was a big deal when she went over there.
Yeah.
When you looked at that girl, like baby face, blonde hair, beautiful girl, you look at her, and she goes to WWE, and they do that Vince McMahon sit down where they show you the sketches of like, this is what we're going to do to you. This is the gimmick we're giving you. Anybody could look at that and be like, oh no, this is fucking terrible, and it's crazy. Like this is crazy. You're making me into like like a crazy person.
Yeah.
And it got over so big, right? You have a choice. You could either make it work or you could be miserable and be like, this isn't who I am.
Yeah.
It's who she is.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, she looks incredible with that gimmick.
Well, also you got to think, like, I always think about that Becky Lynch Irish dancing gimmick that she had.
Yeah,
you know,
in NXT,
and then you know once it clicks, and then they put the rocket on you.
Yeah,
I think with Julia, forget it. Julie's going to be amazing on that main roster. Stephanie Vaquera is going to be amazing on that main roster. Even the third match on the card, Gigi Dolan, Tatum Paxley, and Shotzi defeating Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley, JC Jane, and Jasmine Nix in that 6-woman tag team match. Great stuff. You had Lexis King defeating a Heritage Cup champion Charlie Dempsey to win the trophy. Obafemi.
Yeah, I like him.
Obafemi defeating Trick Williams and Eddie Thorpe in a triple threat to win the title. Awesome win by Obafemi. Obafemi is deceptively gigantic.
Yo, great look.
He's huge.
I mean, what a fantastic look, too.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
How tall is he? He's 6'4".
I want to say 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, 6'4".
He's a non-juiced Oddman Johnson to me. That's how in my brain, that's what comes up. Oddman Johnson.
Oddman Johnson?
Non-juiced.
Just like intense, like a big, intense dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Great stuff.
26 years old, dude. The kid was born in 98.
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
Rock came out to close the show with his goosebumps. His goosebumps got muscles.
Dude, that's the best joke. I said that, and it got over so big.
And all his goosebumps also are the Rock's cousin for somehow.
They're all the Rock's cousin.
He cut a nice promo. I enjoyed it. I thought he added to the show. He didn't. I don't think he pulled a Hogan and took away from the show.
No.
I think
He
added to the show, like classic Hogan. You know, like when he would show up on like TNA.
Listen, you're going to an NXT show.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, The Rock shows up.
What?
You know? Nice surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice surprise. They're going to rerun this, like we said, on the CW on Saturday at 8 p.m. AEW Dynamite. Let's go into this. Dynamite comes on the air. Excalibur welcomes everybody alongside Daddy Magic, Matt Menard, and Ian Riccaboni. Tony Schiavone was out on assignment. A lot of people assume that Schiavone was suspended because of the comments he made about what's his name?
Chris Charlton.
Chris Charlton. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
because I think he tweeted that Chris Charlton, do us a favor and take a shower for anyone that's worked with you.
And he also said, "Go F yourself."
Go fuck yourself. Yeah. Go take a shower and go F yourself.
Yeah.
And then he deleted it. But for people who don't follow New Japan, the commentary was burying Tony Khan, and he called him a money mark.
Yeah.
And how he's taken all this talent away from New Japan. And I get, I will tell you, he was doing, a heel versus a babyface thing, right? Because Kenny was the heel here. However, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Especially in that culture where it's very business oriented, and I'm sure somebody could have been like, "Hey, listen, this is what I'm going to do. Is that cool?" And if they said, "Yeah, go for it."
Well, they put people like Rocky was put in a very uncomfortable situation.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting next to him. What are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
So I don't know. So Tony wasn't there. He had a family matter. Will Ospreay defeated Buddy Matthews.
Can I put the brakes on for a second? Yeah. Can we talk about how great Daddy Magic has become on commentary?
He's great. I like him.
He's come such a long way since he started doing that. I feel like he's going to end up becoming like a permanent member.
Well, that's what he does now.
Yeah.
When is the last time he wrestled?
It must have been like on Collision, like months ago, right?
I can't even tell you.
But good for him.
He was at fight with MJF, like months ago. Yeah.
I had a dream where I wrote a television show about RJ City.
Oh, no.
Okay. Can I tell you what it is? I'm going to mute myself.
Okay.
RJ City and he's sexually. Oh, there we go. There it is. Yeah.
Oh, great.
There it is.
Please just tell me later.
I'm gonna message RJ first. My dream. I'll tell him my dream. He goes on a journey of adventures, and he does things.
Yeah.
It's a little sexual.
Okay.
A little bit. Not too much. There's no like
sounds like it's
sex.
real sexual.
There's a little sexual stuff happening there. All right?
Like my dreams.
Like your dream. But no, yours are just cock blocked. You get to the point, and then you wake up with night terrors.
Well, I told you my most recent dream.
Text it to me. I don't remember.
I told you already about Coolidge.
Text it to the group.
Yeah, text it to the group. Oh yeah, she did. He did have a dream. He did tell me this. Will Ospreay defeated Buddy Matthews. Ospreay put Buddy over. I think Buddy's great, but he's another guy.
I also think that's funny. For some reason, deep down, as soon as he said that, I was like, "Oh, the three of them are just gonna go to WWE now. You're gonna get Buddy, Brody, and Malachi.
You know what? Brody and WWE. What would that look like?
Forget it.
What would that look like?
I think that would be awesome. I think they need a good big guy.
It's interesting because they still do the dumb shit though.
Yes. They still do the dumb shit.
They still do a lot of the dumb shit where you don't know. Like, you don't know if you're going to be given something ridiculous to do.
Exactly.
At least with AEW, like, that they're not giving you anything.
I think at some point you have to expect a little bit of ridiculousness if you work for WWE, but also imagine Brody going to NXT and just imagine him and Obafemi.
Oh, monsters.
Right.
Yeah. Buddy did re-sign with AEW, so he's not coming.
We do a lot of fantasy booking here.
Private Party. They're celebrating in the back. It was crashed by Hurt Syndicate. We are getting Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley versus Private Party.
I can't wait.
Okay. For the tag titles. I 100% think they need to take the titles and put it on the Hurt Syndicate.
Yep.
And then we got the most wacky match I could have ever imagined on paper. I could never imagine this on paper. Bobby Lashley against Mark Briscoe.
How nuts.
How nuts of a combination of two totally different people.
This is what I don't understand of why people complain about AEW.
See, and that I know. Because, like, to us, that's such like a fun thing to watch.
Oh, forget it. Yeah.
Bobby won.
Yeah. Of course he did.
But it's just such a interesting visual to see those two people in the ring. Mark Briscoe and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
I think Mark Briscoe with a lot of that roster is unexpected, but pleasantly.
He's really good.
Pleasantly unexpected.
He's really good, Mark Briscoe. But his gimmick is the reality. And that's what it is. He will never be anything other than who he is.
But you know what? That's okay, because he's been that for a million years, and he's very beloved.
Yeah.
Powerhouse Hobbs won the Casino Gauntlet to earn an AEW World Title match next week at Maximum Carnage.
Yeah, he's facing John Moxley.
Really cool stuff. They're bringing it back around because Moxley brought him into AEW, air quotes, many years ago.
Yeah.
That Casino match was a lot of fun.
That Casino match was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
It was good. It wasn't one of the better ones, but it was fine. You know, they told the story. I'm glad that Hobbs is being put in a big position. You know, this was the match. This is a redo because remember Hobbs got hurt the last time these two wrestled.
Yes,
and it wasn't the match that they really wanted to do.
Yeah,
Hobbs is another one I can see him in WWE. By the way, did you not put Raw on the show notes here?
No,
we covered it on because we covered it on Beyond the Bell. So I kind of
we got to just copy and paste.
Yeah, just copy and
quick,
paste it because I want to touch on a couple.
We got to talk about that. Listen, a lot of people who watch Mad Men don't watch Beyond the Bell.
We're going to recover things.
I have no
Sorry,
idea.
I had to get the New Year keep on digging sound effect in.
Oh, they keep on digging.
Jeff Jarrett, your favorite, gets an unexpected offer.
Great?
MJF comes out and offers his help to get Jarrett the championship, but in return, he wants the first shot. Jeff Jarrett says he doesn't need MJF. He's not buying what he's selling and calls him an entitled prick.
We're getting Jeff Jarrett and MJF.
Listen, I'm all for everything Jeff Jarrett. Now I am. I used to not like Jeff Jarrett.
You were not a big fan.
I was not a fan of Jeff Jarrett. AEW Jeff Jarrett really does it for me.
You know what? My favorite Jeff Jarrett. AEW Jeff Jarrett, 100%.
Really does it for me. Yeah.
I got to tell you, man, I'm still so impressed. Remember when he showed back up in WWE?
Oh, Rumble Jarrett? Oh, no, when he fought Roman?
No. Did he fight Roman?
I think he fought Roman.
No. Elias.
Oh, yes, it was Elias.
And those punches.
Oh, forget it. Yeah.
Holy moly. He's so good. Listen, man, I'm excited to see what they do with Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
Cope addresses John Moxley. The worst name ever.
Do
coping
you
with
not
this.
like it?
I do not like it.
Okay.
I said this on Beyond the Bell. If he was Adam Copeland and they called him Cope, just like John Moxley's Mox, but he's still John Moxley, the rated R superstar, Adam Copeland, and they call him Cope. That's fine. Now we're pretending his name's Cope.
Going to jump.
I think they should have just taken the E out and call him Copland.
Copland.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
It's like calling Triple H just H.
Trips. Right? Trips. No, but here we go. Yeah. They called him Trips all the time.
Yeah.
Imagine they changed his name to Trips.
Yeah, that'd be weird. Didn't they do that with another guy on the roster?
Triple H went from Hunter Hearst Helmsley to Triple H.
Yeah.
I think the only person that shortened in their name worked was The Rock.
Rocky Maivia became The Rock. Yeah, but he was still Rocky Maivia for a while.
Yeah.
They still called him Rocky Maivia for a while.
When did they start calling him?
It took a long time. It was like a casual.
It was slow.
Change.
Like it took like a whole summer.
Yeah, because it was initially Rocky. After the
Rocky Maivia was Rocky.
Yeah,
and then it became the Rock, Rocky Maivia, and they still would call him Rocky.
Yeah.
Cope.
You're not a fan.
I'm not a fan. He addressed John Moxley. He says the biggest mistake Mox made was going after his friends, FTR. The Death Riders would come out and eventually get the advantage on Cope until FTR made the save for a minute. All right.
Actually, can you read what he wrote in the note?
Until FD. Oh my God, he's back, dude. FDR.
That old rascal Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
That old rascal. FDR made the save. FDR did make the save.
I think he's messing with that AI a little bit too much. Typing in presidential AI when it comes to wrestling. Say, I want to see Abe Lincoln wrestle Moxley.
That's what our other friend is doing with his wrestling simulator right now. Making wacky matches.
I get a kick out of that.
I do too.
That guy's simulator. Chris Statlander defeated Tony Storm.
Hobbs came out.
Powerhouse Hobbs came down to help fend off the Death Riders. Great.
Yeah.
That's going to be a cool match next week. Chris Statlander defeated Tony Storm. I got to sneeze.
Gesundheit.
Chris Statlander defeated Tony Storm and Willow Nightingale to earn the number one spot in next week's Women's Casino Gauntlet. Great. Renee, I got to sneeze again, man. Can you take this?
Yeah, go ahead. Are you okay?
Dying.
No, I want to see you. I want to see you suffer a little. Hold
I'm
on.
dying.
You okay?
I'm good now. I think
It's
I'm good.
Okay.
I think I'm good now.
Where Renee Paquette was backstage with Tony Storm, who said she gave it her best and clearly she wasn't ready. What do you think of the rookie gimmick?
I love it. Listen, we talk about this ad nauseum where nothing beats a good bonked on the head gimmick.
I love a bonked on the head, and they freaking did it.
And I enjoy how she's really playing that part. Do you think we're going to get some kind of 3 faces of Tony Storm here?
What would the third face be?
I don't know. I feel like it's got to be something nutty, right? Like from the future.
I think what we're going to get.
What if it's all a ruse? What if it's all a ruse and she
I'm
shows
telling you,
up?
we're going to get a
gets
split
the title
screen.
match.
We're going to get the split screen.
Yeah.
It's going to be rookie Tony, and it's going to be the other Tony, the vaudevillian Tony, and then it's going to merge into one.
What if they do this the half and half?
Oh, they could do that too.
Right? That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So you have like the little thing on the eye on one half, and then the other half is. I feel like they could do something cool with that.
I remember Dave was so concerned over Tony Storm and the cute girl gimmick that she was doing, the tomboy gimmick. Mm-hmm. And he would talk about for like weeks on end. He would talk about how like, what is she going to do when she's in her 30s? They got to do something with her.
Oh boy,
they got to do something different with her in WWE. She can't just be this character forever.
I'm going to take a minute here.
Okay.
The Llama Whisperer said, "Imagine if Andrew's name was shortened to Czar."
The last Czar?
Yeah, if you were like ZAR, like Cope style.
Do you know that the Czar of Russia, Nicholas, he had a dragon tattoo on his arm?
Oh, really?
And so did the King of England at the time, and they were first cousins.
Really? I did not know that.
And they look identical.
I'm making this up.
And they had dragon tattoos on their arms.
I had no idea. Or were they double dragon?
They were double dragon, dude. That's how double dragon began.
What was it, Billy and Jimmy?
It was King Edward and the Tsar Nicholas.
So, back to what you were saying, Dave was very concerned that she can't pull off this cute.
Not that she can't. No, not that she can't. But you know, like WWE, his point was when she was in NXT, when she was in NXT, like, hey, listen, you got to do something with her because she's so good,
right?
But you're gonna run out of time with that gimmick.
Yes.
Bailey can't be that Bailey forever. It was the same conversation. What did she do? And she did a great transition into whatever she's doing now. I don't know what she's doing now, but it worked.
Cool aunt.
She reinvented herself. Tony reinvented herself as herself, which is saying something.
Yeah. Tony did not reinvent herself she invented herself as a vaudevillian actress.
I think he meant the current thing is like he
reinvented this version of her. Yeah.
And made it work.
And made it work.
I'm fully expecting like a third Tony Storm personality to emerge.
I've always really liked Tony.
Same here.
Always really liked it. We got a $10 super chat. You want to read this?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds here. Real Take Wrestling. Hey guys, you think there's any chance AEW decides to put the world title on Kenny and make the Okada match a title unification? Could be good to make the Continental Classic for the world title. Listen, I don't know, man. I don't think Kenny's coming anywhere near that belt for the next few months.
I think they should.
I agree with you, but I think they're going to have to wrap up all this Moxley stuff first.
Yeah.
Would it be too convoluted if they throw Kenny into this mix?
I think they got to pull that trigger on Kenny very quickly.
Okay.
I don't. Back to simple stuff.
Okay.
Right? Jon Moxley has been the most dominant world champion in that company.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He's won it the most. He's done everything for them. You could push him a little bit. Give him a little off. Mm-hmm. Put that title on Kenny. Let him be the best spout machine as the world champion.
Right.
Not whatever they're doing. And then you could maybe do this Continental Classic where it's title for title.
Yeah.
You make it really big. They got to move a lot of tickets for that show.
Oh, yeah.
There are 10,000 tickets in that giant stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, hopefully, they'll get up to like in the 20,000s.
Yeah.
But Kenny Omega would be perfect as the world champion right now. Darby Allin is not the answer. I know a lot of people, and listen, there was real conversation about Darby getting a title.
Yeah.
I would not recommend that right now. Nothing against Darby Allin. You want to be bigger than life. Right? You got to appeal to that person that's looking and comparing.
Mm-hmm.
Who's WWE's champions right now? It's not a Daniel Bryan. It's not a Darby Allin. Right. It's not a whoever. Their champions are giants.
Yeah.
You got Gunther, you got Cody, and who are the contenders? CM Punk, Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Perceptively big people.
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Wait till Brock Lesnar returns.
I feel like that's gonna happen.
The Rock has
They did
his
mention
own
it. They
title.
mentioned him on
The Rock has his own freaking title, and he's on NXT.
I
And
got a question.
yeah,
Can the Money in the Bank winner cash in on for that title?
That'd be fun.
for what title?
The Rock's title.
The Rock's People's title.
Yo, that would be great.
Yeah.
Right? And that's a great twist.
Yeah.
CM Punk wins. I'm just throwing an example.
Yeah.
CM Punk wins the Money in the Bank, and he goes, "No. I'm coming for revenge." Dwayne,
Yeah.
great.
I would like a return to that feud.
I could see them doing it again.
Yeah.
They also have Cena there, by the way. So, is it the time for Darby Allin to be our world champion? No, it's not.
Yeah.
Is it time for a guy like Kenny Omega to hold the title or somebody else? Yeah, sure.
I agree with that.
Edge? I would even put it on Edge.
Throw
I
it
don't
on
care.
Edge.
He's 50-something years old.
He looks great.
Looks fantastic.
I think with the Cope / Edge stuff, you have to capitalize on his presence there within the next 2 or 3 years.
By the way, when I'm talking about the stadium show, I'm not talking about Australia. I'm talking about all in
Yeah.
in Texas. The Australia show, they moved. There's a story there too.
Yeah.
I'm very behind with a lot of the rumors.
Thank you for the question, Real Take Wrestling. And the super chat.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega. Speaking of Kenny Omega, he returned to Dynamite with his new theme. Cut his promo about what it took for him to get back, and then all of a sudden you see Don Callis' head on that.
Oh my
That
god!
jumbotron.
And that scar is moving around, and it has
bigger and
dude.
smaller.
It's like Venom. It's a symbiote.
Yeah.
That scar changed everything.
So at the end of the day, next week we're gonna get Kenny versus Brian Cage, and then you had a little. Would you call it a stare down between Ospreay and Kenny, or like kind of like a little face off?
I think it was like a little face off. Like there's an appreciation.
Yeah, I think that
It was a respect, right?
Yeah.
It was more respect.
any match that Kenny has with anybody is going to be a banger. But I think he needs to have those consecutive bangers.
Yeah.
You know? And again, like, does he, I asked you this the other day, does he start at 0 with wins and losses to get to that belt?
I think that'd be great if every week he's just having a match and
Just
he's
like-
working his way up to the world title.
2 matches a week.
2 matches a week. I don't
Yeah.
think he wants to do 2
2 matches a week. And he's trying to work his way up to that title.
I think he'll work his way up to the title, but who does he take it off of? Is it Mox or is it someone else?
I feel like you can always revisit that Mox thing. I feel like it may have to be somebody else, like Christian or Cope, you know?
You know what? I would love that if Edge beats him, wins the title, Christian cashes in, wins the title, maybe Omega takes it from him, or maybe I actually don't want to see Christian with the title. I'd rather have Edge with the title, but there's a lot of wacky ways to get to Kenny.
Well, I think if you do a little hot potato, right?
And Kenny could drop it to Ospreay. I mean, that's a great person to drop it to.
Or Okada. I think if you do a little hot potato, you add to the lineage of that belt, kind of like what WWE did with the original version of the Universal title.
Sure, yeah.
Right? So Mox drops to Edge. Cope drops to Christian, right? Drops to Darby or Kenny.
Yeah.
I still feel like there's that unresolved thing. I feel like I've said this for a month. I do think that's how you put that title on Darby, but is it the right time?
I don't know when the time is, but not today.
Yeah.
I would say not today.
But he will be a champ at one point.
Listen, I'm just, this is only my opinion. If you feel that Darby Allin's could be a fantastic world champion, that's great.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the visuals of your competition versus you, you got to be a little competitive here.
Yeah.
And I love an up and coming, underdog story.
Yeah, same.
Let's see, where are we?
I added
Collision.
the Raw stuff up.
Collision.
At the top.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Collision. Cope versus Big Bill.
Great.
Dax Harwood versus Chris Jericho. AEW Women's Champion Mariah May versus Harley Cameron.
Harley needs to be on Saturday Night Live.
What do they call hot girl graps?
Hot girl graphs. Harley is unbelievable.
Yeah. AW Maximum Carnage. Jon Moxley defends the AEW World Title against Powerhouse Hobbs. Kenny Omega versus Brian Cage. Christian Cage versus Hook. And Women's Casino Gauntlet for the AEW Women's Title match at Grand Slam Australia.
Great. It'll be fun.
Fantastic.
So we're going to talk about Raw?
Let's talk about Raw, and then we'll go into Q&A very quickly because there is a train I got to get on.
What time's your train? The pain train?
Pain train.
Do you want to just jump back into here?
I would love to jump back in there.
And then I'll put you on the train seat?
Yeah, I would love to jump back in there.
With a note that says, please rub me?
Please rub me.
All right. The show on Monday, I enjoyed it. I think people are still talking about it. It seems like, from what I gather online, it's half negative, half positive.
What, the Raw show?
The Raw show?
The negativity was where are the matches, right? That was the big negativity. Yeah. But, listen, Jess framed it perfectly. She was watching the Rhea Ripley entrance, which looked like $1 million, right? And she goes, "Oh, this isn't wrestling." I said, "What is it?" He goes, "It's a spectacle."
Yeah.
And that's what WWE is.
And
it's
you know what?
Spectacle.
That's fine.
And it's fine.
It's super. I was wildly entertained on Monday. We got a quick little super chat here from Hearst Hill. Thank you, Rich, for the small talk and your support. I just bought my tickets for Revolution. Can't wait. I hope these wildfires end soon. Both of your shows, fellas. You want the wildfires to end our shows?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Thank you, Hearst. Hope you make it out there. All right, man.
I'm sure it'll be settled by then.
Yeah, hopefully you're good to go. Again, much love to everybody out in Cali. Triple H opened the show with this amazing narration while a canvas was getting painted.
Yeah.
Right? Loved it. You had that big curtain with the projection on it, and the curtain drops. Boom. Triple H in the middle of the ring. Yeah. Crowd goes wild.
Fantastic.
Did you or did you not wish that this guy had one more match in him?
I would love one more. One more, but I don't want him to. He has a pacemaker.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think it'll happen, but I'm sure he gets that itch every now and then.
I want to, this made me more excited for next week's Raw. It's going to be in a smaller and different venue, but I want to see if they try to add that bigness to it. They also debuted that new black canvas with a lot of, with the sponsorships.
Netflix, Fortnite, Cricket Wireless, Riyadh Season, and Great American Beer.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan's beer.
I feel like that one's going to be X'd out next week.
Hey, Barry, have you tried it? They booed my friend Terry.
I still don't know how WB allowed the Fortnite logo in the center.
Why would they?
Well, I understand there are two properties, but Warner Brother owns the rights to the Fortnite movie. I know it's not the same as the game, but it's still,
money talks.
A little iffy.
Yeah, dude.
Money talks.
We didn't talk about the ref shirts. I really like them.
I do too. I don't mind them.
Shirts. Yeah,
I don't mind the ref shirts. I did not mind the black mat.
No, not at all.
I hated the ref shirts.
Why?
They look like they were bought with Kohl's cash.
They were fine.
Yeah, they were fine. It was like nice little gray with the stripe.
What do you want it to be?
Just normal referee shirts.
Oh, like the stripe one?
Yeah. Like they all look like they were middle-aged men dressed to go to their 2-year-old's middle school graduation with a new outfit their wife bought them.
Yeah.
But that's what the WCW refs look like, right?
Yeah, that's what they
had. The blue that weird powder.
And then they had the black ones that said WCW.
Yeah. A ref should look like he's late for like a kid's thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Roman Reigns defeated Solo Sikoa. One of the main events. Roman Reigns defeated Solo Sikoa in tribal combat to regain the Ula Fala. Tamatanga, Jacob Fatu, and the Usos and Sami Zayn will all interfere. Kevin Owens shows up, he stunned Roman, right?
Yeah.
He gave him a stunner. Cody comes out. They end up brawling. Rock comes out to present Roman with the Ula Fala. Listen, say what you want. It's nice seeing The Rock on TV.
It's always great to see him on TV.
Do you give a shit that he didn't further advance his storyline from last year?
No, because I know they're going to do something.
By giving Cody props.
Listen, he has multiple roles. He's Dwayne Johnson, board of directors, and he's also The Rock. So he's doing something. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Didn't bother me.
No, not at all.
It's a little thing. Nobody will remember in 2 weeks anyway. So, all right.
They showed all the SmackDown stars, a bunch of celebrities. Was Ray supposed to wrestle with Penta?
Yeah. That was originally planned, but they moved it to next week.
Which I'm excited for.
And it's in San Jose next week. Perfect. I mean, it's fine.
That's fantastic.
It's still the same demo for him, you know?
That's a smart move. You know? I think that's going to go over. Do you think that's going to be the main?
No.
Debut Penta on the main event of Raw? Interesting.
I don't think so.
Will the crowd know what to do?
With Penta, yeah. I
Was
think
doing this
I
shit?
think the San Jose crowd is gonna know.
Mhm.
They're gonna be into it.
Though
I feel like
1,000% no, because George Kittle from the 49ers does it as his touchdown celebration.
That's his touchdown celebration.
And that's the football team in that area.
See, I don't know anything about football. Joe Montana, great.
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana, great.
Don Mattingly, fantastic.
Joe Montana, trim me sideways,
Also
great.
played for the 49ers.
Joe Montana did play for the 49ers, yeah.
You guys speak nothing about football, but somehow every time I mention a team, you name the right players. It's amazing.
Secretly a huge football mark. John Cena came out, cut a very long promo. He declared himself for the Rumble.
Okay, great.
The Rumble, I feel like, is going to be fantastic next year. This year.
Did you
Next year, this
hear
year.
the interview he did about how he was going to turn heel
Yeah.
and that he had bought all the outfits and everything, and he had bought like the tights and he was going to go heel.
Yeah.
And they scrapped it at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see what that looks like.
Yeah, same here, man.
Speaking of the Rumble, real quick, a rumor came out that Ric Flair is in talks for possibly showing up at the Rumble.
Oh, yeah. This is a Jonathan breaking news,
Like
not mine.
To be in the audience?
No, I'm just saying. It's a Pro Wrestler Insider reported this morning.
Boy.
Yeah, I don't know how verified that is.
I don't want that. I
PW
don't want to
Insider,
see.
is that it?
I don't want to
Yeah,
see that
I
guy
just
wrestle.
wanted-
Oh, PW Insider. Who
Insider,
reported?
sorry.
Mike Johnson? We saw Mike.
I just saw the tweet. So
I don't want to see Ric Flair wrestle again. I think he's fine. He put out something the other day doing a muscle pose saying, not even a Bronson Reed tsunami could stop me. Like, God bless you.
No, that's because Bronson Reed saw the tweet about I could wrestle, and he goes, "People want me to tsunami this guy. Do you really want to see someone die?" And
Oh,
how
there
he
you go.
Put it. That's
Yeah.
that's why.
Main event. Let's talk about the main event, and then we'll go into Q&A.
Sure.
That CM Punk match, I liked it.
I loved it. I thought it was
I thought
good.
it was a really good match.
I watched it again, and the other day you mentioned you were like how CM Punk ate it on that GTS.
Yo,
he really did.
He ate it. He ate it. They both did. They both really beat the crap out of each other. I thought it was a good match.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Questions?
Yeah, let's do Q&As, boys and girls. I do not have time for Wrestle Kingdom, but we spoke about it already.
Omega Kid, that's all you need to
Yeah,
know. Fantastic. But I think that was match of the weekend.
Yeah, fantastic.
All right, guys, get your questions ready. If you have a super chat, feel free to super chat us. This is our first show back, and after 6 weeks, and we'll be back next week with 2 more shows, Beyond the Bell and Matt Men. And I believe the week after you are not around.
I
You're
am
going
not
back into the lamp.
I am 26, 27, 28th. I am not around.
Great. So
we
plan
had
on that.
Sorry. Go ahead.
What?
No,
That's
sorry.
what?
We had a super chat that we missed. So
Oh,
I was
okay.
just trying to-
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's go into them.
All right. Let's see. I know there's a super chat up top that we missed here.
Yeah, I'll put it up.
Yeah. Matthew Garrett. AEW screwed up by not pushing their EVPs as the top talent from the jump. I think they're reaping now what they sowed then.
I think he is somewhat correct there.
That the Bucks and Kenny should have been.
Bucks,
And-
Kenny, Cody.
Wasn't Jericho an EVP too, or am I wrong about that?
You're wrong about that.
I'm wrong about
Yeah.
that? Okay. I don't even remember, man.
I understand what they thought
Mhm.
people would say. Like, oh, look,
Yeah.
the promoter's putting the belt on himself. But they all did get the titles.
Exactly.
They all did get the titles.
Yeah.
I did not like Kenny being, the cool guy, Miami Vice guy.
Yeah. That with the weird heel.
I did not like that as his first title run.
On record, I believe Cody has said the same thing, that promise he made was ridiculous. Never being able to challenge for the title.
Why?
Here's a question: What would it look like if he was the first champion and not Jericho?
I think
would
Jericho
things
was
look like?
I think Jericho was the perfect choice for the first champ. Given the landscape and hot off like the New Japan matches and all that stuff. Great, right?
Jericho had to be the first
He
champion.
had to be the first.
There's no
champion.
question about that.
I do think after a lot of the matches that Cody had, especially as the TNT champ, he should have gotten that big belt for at least a decent run, because if you think about those old Cody promos, that guy was trying the hardest on the roster to bring eyes to the product.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
and
I would say.
And he was the promo of the company when he was there.
You know, the story of this company is going to be something else.
Yeah.
The story of this company is going to be, I don't know where it's going to end up.
Yeah.
Either it's going to be, wow, we had a really rough couple years and we got out of it and look where we are now, where wrestling is thriving, or it's going to be somebody puts out that DVD, The Rise and Fall of AEW.
Coming to our YouTube channel next week.
Yeah, coming to it. No, I will not put that out.
No.
Too early. But there are key things that happened here, right? You look at it, I think adding Rampage was one thing, adding Collision was a whole nother. Going from a 2-hour program to a 5-hour program every week to book, Ring of Honor getting involved, that's another hour of booking. Cody exiting, the Punk debut and the exit, the injuries. There's so many moving. Doing a monthly pay-per-view essentially. You know, they got 9-10 pay-per-views a year now. Before they had 4, things got ramped up very quickly.
It's a bumpy road, but you know what? Like, think about it, like it's like a test rocket.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like sometimes the rocket blows up, but then you start again.
Falafel Bay's here.
Yeah, what's that?
In the chat room. What's up, Falafel Bay?
Paul Anthony Moss.
I know who that is.
I know who that is, too.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. Paul Anthony Moss, leading into Grand Slam Australia. Do you think Buddy and Tony get booked for title matches on the show? Maybe bring in Indy Hartwell too. That's a good suggestion because Indy got released by WWE. I think definitely a more high profile match.
Who?
Like
for Buddy
and Tony. Like Buddy versus
Tony. Yeah, and then what's his name is from New Zealand. Jay White.
Jay White. Buddy versus Okada for that belt. High profile match. Buddy doesn't need to win, but you know. Good pop from the hometown crowd.
I don't know what I mean, right now there are 10,000 tickets there. They moved to a smaller building. They'll be fine. That building will look good. It'll be a fine show, but
Tony's most certainly getting that shot. They're gonna kind
she
of
has
finish
to,
out
and that could,
there.
and you know what, and that could be the main event.
Yeah. This is not a super chat or a question, but this is a comment that made me giggle.
Okay.
From Armand. Real American beer is now Real American boo.
They booed him. They booed that man.
They booed him.
They booed that man out of Los Angeles.
They booed Terry right out of the building. Oh, brother, what did I do?
He did stick the landing, though.
He did.
He didn't.
He powered through, dude.
He powered through that. I mean, to the point that they booed Andre the Giant. They booed Netflix. They booed everybody.
They booed his beer. They booed poor Jimmy Hart.
The press conference afterwards was hilarious that McAfee did.
Oh, the McAfee stuff was funny.
The next day on his show,
Yeah.
If Malachi is a llama whisperer, if Malachi leaves AEW, does the rest of the House of Black stay together, or do they go on their respective single runs?
I would keep them together. Listen, their tag division sucks.
Yeah, good tag team right there.
And I say that, and again, I try not to use those like when it comes to talent, and it's not the talent, it's the booking of that tag division.
Yeah.
Who should be the tag team champion today?
You know, honestly, like we talked about it before, Lashley and...
But that's a new thing, right?
Yeah.
That's new. Fine. Lashley and him. The Bucks come back.
Yeah.
Lashley and Shelton. The Bucks come back.
Well, the Bucks have...
You got Malachi... I'm sorry. You got Murph... Button.
You okay? Buddy Murphy's.
It's happening.
Buddy Murphy's.
Buddy Murphy. You got the Buddy Murphys.
Just call him
Who
Mr.
else?
Ripley.
Who else?
You got, Private Party, but also the Bucks have the New Japan belts.
They do, yeah.
And they teased that they were going to bring them to AEW.
Great.
You know?
Mercedes has 4 freaking belts.
Mercedes has 4 belts. Is it too late to get another Edge and Christian run next year?
I would say that would have...
But what would you call them?
You know what I would do? Great. If that Fakakta Money in the Bank was not in Christian's thing,
yeah,
okay, Edge is getting murdered by the Death Riders.
Oh yeah,
and here, you know what? I got it. You ready?
Christ, yeah,
I got the greatest turn. Edge is just dead. Okay,
Moxley's kicking his ass.
Moxley and the Death Riders are kicking his ass. They go to do a concerto. Christian runs out with the thing in his hand, and he knocks Moxley out. He saves Edge. Edge wins the title.
Okay.
Okay? you're thinking he's gonna turn on Edge. Takes the thing, shoves it, throws it away, gives him a big hug. They're back.
Okay.
CNC's back.
I'm cool with that. CNC would be perfect.
CNC.
That's it. CNC
Everybody dance now. That's what they come out to. CNC Music Factory. That's their theme.
Great.
Tony licensed it.
Great setup.
Can I tell you my RJ City sitcom?
Sure.
So he goes to the theater.
Perfect.
He goes to the theater.
The
But
theater,
then he goes to like something else. And then he goes somewhere else. He just goes on these adventures.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
Okay, I'm gonna pitch it to him.
I'm cool with that. Please pitch it to him. Listen, that Christian thing is the wild card in this whole scenario, right? Like, he could ostensibly Cope beats Moxley, right? And on the same night, Christian catches in on Cope.
That could happen too, but I want to see them together because they're older.
Yep.
It's better if they doing less.
Yep.
You could put the tag titles on them. It could still be a big deal. They could feud with Lashley and Shelton.
Forget it.
They
And
could
the Bucks.
feud with the Bucks. They could feud with Murphy and Brody.
Yep.
There's so many different avenues you could go down.
And FTR.
FTR then comes in the mix.
What if Edge turns?
No, or you do a friendly thing, and that's how you do that thing. You know, like FTR wins, and then they go on their own ways.
Yeah.
There's so many things you could do. I don't think there's one perfect idea. I think there's many really good ideas, but the execution is what sells it.
Absolutely.
I do want to see that reunion though, and they do tables. They do TLC for the tag titles.
One more TLC left.
One more TLC.
I feel like this is good fanboy service for both of us because like, we're such Edge and Christian fans, and that was like peak Attitude Era for us. You know, you had the Austin stuff, but then you also had those TLC matches, which are absolutely fucking bananas to watch live when you're like 16, 17 years old. Bless you. There's something in the air that's making us sneeze.
Yeah. Well, the air conditioner's on, and I hadn't turned it on in a while, so I think some dust flew around.
You mean?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that where you keep your stash?
You know what?
Oh, no.
I'm gonna put you in. This is the big.
All right.
I should have put like a little smoke thing in here, and it should have.
That would have been funny.
smoking.
I could do it.
This is from Millennial Noob. Will we see Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte, and Becky come back? And
Yes.
what plans will affect WrestleMania 41? They're all set to come back soon, right?
Yeah,
Alexa Bliss, I think, is the closest one to return, or Becky.
I think Becky's the closest one to return.
I think Alexa. They said there's they got story in line for her and merch already ready. So
Okay, great.
Cool.
She's been off for a while.
It was a good question.
almost 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah,
Joel Torres Luna asks, "Do you think Julia Hart will now be the leader of the House of Black?
I think that's done. I think that's going to be.
You think her whole spooky thing?
I think she's going to go off and do something else.
Okay, cool." Jay Haller asked Mattman, besides paying for licensed music, what other uses do you still see happening with the increased money AEW is getting? Better marketing, different presentation, etc.
They're always tweaking the presentation.
Yeah.
Because I talked to some people there and on that side, and there's always conversations and that's the great thing. They have great, I would say, very creative people that are constantly looking to evolve and improve.
Yeah.
They did a great shot on last week's show with the Jib, where it went, and WWE did a fantastic one during the main event. That freaking Jib rotated all around that ring, zoomed out, then went through the smoke and the clouds and zoomed back in. That was incredible.
They like both.
AEW does a great job with that Jib too.
AEW does a good job with it. Again, not to poo-poo on anything, but my gripe is that the color palette for AEW, in my opinion, is very bland on television. It's a lot of colors that blend with each other.
I get that you want to be big and bright, right? But there's something to be said about having a darker presentation.
I agree with that, but it's not a bold looking presentation.
I think you know why it looks too bright? The ring ropes. They should go back to black ring ropes. With all that brightness and color, if you went to the black ring ropes, it would kind of diffuse it a little bit. It would separate everything instead of blending. I have years of production experience in my life. That's the other job I'm applying for. I'm applying for a writer position. I'm going to do everything. Tony's going to hire me for all of it.
Brian Knight.
How mad do you think that people would get? Sorry to cut you off. How mad do you think people would get if I just like announced on the show I'm leaving and I took a job with AEW? They would be so fucking angry, right?
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think
Oh, I told you guys. I knew it.
I think our people would be
would
happy.
Yeah.
You know.
But the dummies on social media.
Of course.
Of course you
Fire
went
all my
there.
bots up.
Yeah, you see, it's all Jonathan.
What are your 2025 bold predictions for WWE and AEW?
Vince McMahon will be mentioned on WWE TV.
Okay.
That's one.
Punk gets the title.
Is that bold? I think that's set.
Okay.
That's going to happen.
Cena breaks Flair's record.
That's a
Cena
good one.
breaks Flair's record is a good one. Yeah.
I
That's a
said this
good
the
one.
other day,
Very good one.
a possible New Japan WWE collaboration.
I do not see that happening.
That's my bold prediction.
I know. I mean, that is
It's
bold.
bold.
Enzo returns
Enzo returns. That's yours. For AEW,
you.
let me
You've
think
been-
of one.
every year.
Let me think of one for AEW. A bold prediction.
Danielson returns for a one-off match with Kenny.
Well, Danielson will be doing something at All In.
Pay-per-views never
Know
make
that.
it to Max in 2025.
Pay-per-views never making the max on 2025. There will be an acquisition from WWE, a big one.
In terms of talent?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fair.
I don't know who, but let's go with that.
Okay. Brian Knight, thoughts on the New York Times report that TKO and the Public Investment Fund are looking to start a boxing league. Will WWE be involved?
So what it actually is, they're not starting a league, but they're going to promote it. They're being hired essentially to promote a boxing league because of their promotion experience. But they're not I believe that's what it is, right? They're not actually starting their own like UFC, WWE, and whatever this boxing league is going to be called. They're just going to be, I guess, marketing it.
It'll be on the ring.
I'm sure.
Paul Anthony Moss, been to many AEW shows down here in Florida. One thing my sons and I have been disappointed in, lack of merch tables products.
Yeah.
World and 7K fans, one table. Is that just not a focus for them?
I don't know. There's a lot of holes. Again, growing pains, right? We've said this before, that buying merch at these shows is not the easiest thing.
Yeah, remember when we went? There was one table
Yeah.
by where we were, and that was it. Like one table.
Yeah, but our
Once
seats
it
were
was gone, it was gone.
pretty fantastic. Yeah, I think I'm thinking about the Grand Slam show in New York where they have the one. It's
They
like a
only had the
shop.
one, but
It's like a shop, yeah.
It's like a shop, but they don't really have a lot of. I feel like they don't have a lot of stuff. They don't travel with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What other show did we go to? World's End. I couldn't tell you where the booth was.
Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door, same thing. Hammerstein.
It was right
they
in the
only
front.
had it at the entrance.
Yeah, that's
That was
right,
the
yeah.
only thing.
Yeah.
But very small. But again, it's a smaller setup,
Yeah.
There's a lot of those. I think they could do a better job with merch for sure.
Yeah.
I took my son. We went with Hunter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, that kid had a blast.
Did he have a great time?
He had a great fucking
Good.
time.
Good.
Loves Orange Cassidy.
Bob McGee. Any word on what AEW is doing with Grand Slam Australia? Is it a Max special?
You know what? I thought I knew the answer to this. Let me see if I could reach out to something. Let's see if we could do it on the fly.
And Rich, there's a couple questions up top too from earlier in the show.
Give me 1 second here.
All right, I asked. Let's see if I get a response.
Can we get an hour of just Nosferatu talk? Andrew didn't
Ooh.
see it yet.
I didn't see it yet, but do you want to see my Nosferatu?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
That's how you come out of the lamp. Start playing piano.
I went uptown riding in my limousine.
No, you
I would
didn't.
love.
Just
I would
impressive.
love to see a Billy Joel hour with you.
Oh, like what? Just me doing all of
Well,
them?
you have a Casio keyboard,
Oh man,
and you're just trying to play the songs,
and I'm not able
You're
to.
just- you're singing them, but you're just clanking on them keys
Because
because you know all the Billy Joel lyrics.
I believe it will be on Max
Okay.
and possibly on TV.
This is from you.
I know every
You know every Billy Joel song.
every Billy Joel
Yeah.
song.
You Played Yourself says, will WWE fix their theme song situation in 2025?
Yes.
And we make a group bet. What's the over under?
They are actively they everybody knows how terrible the themes are.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody knows the talent has complained numerous times. Obviously, some people are happy with their themes, but a lot of talent.
Rhea's theme's great. Cody's theme's great.
Roman's is his.
Roman's is great.
I don't like the new Roman one though. I don't like the extended version.
Sorry.
No, I don't like the extended version. But they ruined a lot of the themes.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like CEO, CF Money, whatever they were called. I didn't really. What are they called?
CFO. I love their themes.
They were okay. Some were bad. They got it later on. They got better.
Balor's theme.
Balor's is
banger.
Good. Banger, yeah.
Bobby Roode's theme.
Great. That's good
Nakamura's theme.
Nakamura's was good too.
This is from Good Doer 627. Hey guys, at work, but didn't want to miss you guys. Out of the three, who is the one to take the title off of Mox? Omega, Ospreay, or Hobbs?
Out of those three, who would? I think it's going to be Omega.
I would say Omega.
But maybe they do someone else. Maybe it's Copeland.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Darby. I mean, there's several options there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options there. But again, you have these big shows coming up. You have Wembley again, right?
No
Wembley.
No Wembley.
Really?
But they are going to go.
Okay. This is from Ali Gamal. Any news on Miro? Last thing we heard is that he asked to be released.
Yeah, he wants to go. He wants to leave. He doesn't want to be there. He didn't want to be there from the moment he walked in.
I made a huge mistake. This is from Mark B. Do you think we're still going to see Speedball in AEW? And who would you like to see him feud with first? If so, I would say throw Speedball in the Ring of Honor mix.
I think he's going to go to the
main
TV. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do the super chat, and then we can end on Alex K's question.
Sure.
Yes, because I have to go.
It's from Mason346. Any word on MJF's contract situation? Heard rumors it might be expiring sooner than we assume. Do you know if he's disgruntled or contemplating leaving?
Not that I've heard of anything. No. He got an AEW tattoo.
Did he? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Doesn't he have an AEW tattoo?
Yeah.
I think he's there for a while, dude.
That's canon. It's on live on TV. Yeah, I think he's not going anywhere.
I think he's really good with messing with the fans.
He is an artist.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For people that have actually gotten to know Max, the person.
Yeah.
He's as much of an asshole in real life. No. I think he's able to blend whatever people think of him in real life versus
he likes to tell people what they want to hear.
Yeah.
Even though and then play off of that is what
also he plays off the stereotypes that we're all assholes up here from this area anyways, which we are. So it works.
Yeah, but he's the biggest baby face on Long Island.
Exactly.
I know.
You know, there's a press in Plainview, and I gave them a great marketing idea.
Mm-hmm.
Do something with Max.
Mm-hmm. And what they
Name
say?
a sandwich after him.
They were like, nah.
Name a sandwich after him.
I think that's a great idea. Listen, you have the hookup. Talk to Brian.
The salt of the earth, right? Isn't that his nickname?
Yeah, make it like a.
What else? What else is Max's nickname?
MJF.
Make it like a prosciutto.
Make an MJF. Okay, what would an MJF be? MJF.
Pastrami.
It has to be an MJF.
Give me M's and give me a J and give me an F.
Meatball, jalapeno, and focaccia.
And on a focaccia. Okay, then we got the focaccia.
There we go.
Great.
There,
Jalapenos.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And meatballs. Meatball, jalapeno, and focaccia.
Where
That's
are
a
you?
terrible
I
sandwich.
just said that.
Dude, he's back in.
What planet are you on?
He's in a different universe where he's like about 7 seconds behind us.
He's like, I'm on that time delay, dude. It's time released.
It's time roll.
It's time released, bro.
I'm actually sober.
This is from Alex K. Not our Alex K, but a different Alex K.
Yeah.
Happy New Year from Greece, guys. Give me your must 5 top opponents for John Cena this year. Also, do you give me him one more world title
I
run?
think so. Why not?
Yeah. Have him break Flair's record. Top 5 for John Cena. The Rock.
The Rock.
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
Roman.
Reigns.
2 more. 2 more have to be weird ones, though.
Goldberg.
Ooh, you know what? That is a good one. That's really good. And Gunther?
And Gunther.
Well,
Drew.
there has to be a torch pass, right?
Drew?
So it has to be someone up and coming.
I think Cody's the torch pass.
Oh, no, him and Cody. Yeah, him and Cody. There
Yeah,
you go.
Cody.
Yeah.
There we go. Great. That's your 5. Cool. Time
Great.
for the choo-choo?
Let's do one more.
Okay. I don't think there is
no
one more.
No? All right,
No,
that's it, guys.
it.
We are out of here. Thank you so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun. I'll be back on Sunday with Wrestling Observer Live. Rich and I will be back on Tuesday with Beyond the Bell. And back to Friday with Matt Men.
Yes.
Do us a favor. Hit us up on social media on X. You can follow us. Hit the subscribe button. We're everywhere podcasts and video is available. And that's it for now. Bye-bye.